Oh, look at that. The quickest it's ever went to live. I was not expecting that, Nick. But we are here. We are here. The Phillies drafted Aiden Miller. I don't know too much about you. I hope you're a superstar. I don't know how you're going to get up to the league because apparently you're a shortstop, right? Or a third. Doesn't
Third
matter. This
base,
isn't the
short.
Phillies show. Whatever. Alec Bohm's, maybe Alec Bohm. I don't. We're not here to talk about the Phillies. We kind of are, but we're not. Uh, Welcome to the All Star Break edition of The Shift. We are excited. There are some pros and cons to the next couple of days that me and Nick are going to get into. We both have some gripes as we sit here juggling our pros and cons. We both have some gripes, but I think there's a lot of things to look forward to, especially from last night's futures game. I know Nick wants to get into that good and bad things. This whole show, it's a lot of good and bad things. You got to have that balance. And there's no middle here. It's either good or bad. I don't think there's anything here we're gonna be just be in the middle of that. We're either gonna love this or we're gonna hate that, whatever it is. So Nick, first off, I know you watched a little bit of the draft. What are your thoughts on the draft tonight before we get into our All Star edition?
It's cool. It's been. I feel like it's becoming more of an event, don't you? Like it's becoming more of an event every year.
Needs to be.
Uh, I think it's getting more exposure. I think people are starting to figure out who some of these guys are because remember, some of these guys are coming out of high school. Coming out of high
Yeah.
school, a lot of them coming out of college too, but a lot out of high school. So people aren't as familiar with these players as they are in the NFL or the NBA when guys are coming pretty much out of college and you kind of have an idea who they are. But Major League Baseball is a little different. There's a ton of rounds. The draft goes on forever and ever. It's just way different. And you don't know what's going to happen with some of these players, right? Aiden Miller, our guy you mentioned at the top, Phillies pick.
He could be terrible. He could only make it up to single A. You know what I
You
mean?
know, I was looking at the Phillies past couple of first round picks, and they haven't been bad. I mean, Alec Bohm in there, Andrew Painter in there, McAble in there. I mean, there's some good picks. Bryson Stott, some of the first round picks. So maybe they hit on these guys. They seem like they've been hitting on their past couple of picks. So
ever since I don't want to get too much into this. We'll get into the All Star here shortly. But like the Phillies, they've changed their scouting department, drastically, especially
overhaul,
their front office. Yeah, and it's been good to see. I'm excited. We're gonna get. Go ahead.
Yeah, overall, I think the draft, seeing to have a little more exposure, they're kind of trying to figure out what the draft's going to be in the future as an event. I think it's going in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I do too. Griffey announced the first pick. It's in Seattle. Paul Skeens. The only thing, and you kind of alluded to this, is about players we're not going to know what they are. Like in every other sport, like NBA, even the NHL to a certain extent, NFL, like these guys are, it's right now pretty much for the most part. Paul Skeens has that potential. They talked about it possibly. Dylan Cruz too, supposed to be very good. So we'll see, but that's really more the problem with that's just how it is. That's how that Major League Baseball goes and just how the system goes. But younger players are getting up quicker. Soto, Vladdy, Acuna, Ellie, like guys are getting up there sooner. So game's going in the right direction as far as these young players are going. So let's get into Nick. Let's just get into I want to get into the game first. Obviously, I still feel like the All-Star game is the most exciting part about the whole couple of days. I used to think the home run derby was like probably the event. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think there's still excitement, but we'll get into it. But let's just start off the bat, Nick. What's the one thing that you're looking? Not one thing. Give me a couple of things, but off the bat, what are you looking forward to most in Seattle on Tuesday night?
I'll tell you what, like this is probably like so weird that I'm looking forward to this part of the game, but like when the introductions, man, just the introductions. Oh my God. Like this is my thing, right? I love seeing all the players get introduced, run out to the field, the starters, right? They go to each camera, each player gets on the camera, right? It's like in order with who's the representative from each team, and then they do the starting lineups, and like they do all the fireworks, they do the anthem, they do all the pregame stuff right before. Introductions is what I'm most looking forward to. It's like, all right, now I can just sit back, relax, and watch the best baseball players step out on this field. Like it's that is like the best thing like I look forward to during All-Star weekend, right? Like obviously the home run derby, I love it so much. But when we get to the game, when you get into those introductions and you see your favorite players run out there, right? And you see like guys in your favorite team's uniform at the All-Star game and them announcing it. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Like that's the coolest thing. Just seeing all those players on the field at once being announced. That's what I'm looking forward to right off the bat. No doubt in my mind. Like that's just like peak baseball for me. Like that is just like the epitome of All-Star weekend, just seeing the best of the best out there. And man, that gives me chills. Like that gets me excited. That puts a smile on my face. And like it's the Midsummer Classic, man. I mean, it's the best All-Star game by far in all of the sports. It beats every single league. It beats the NFL. It beats the NBA. It beats the NHL. It beats soccer and anywhere all over the world. I don't care. This is the best All-Star game there is. Like it just the feel and the emotions and everything that goes into it. I can't wait till they start announcing all the players on the field. That is what I'm looking forward to in the introductions. Number one, first and foremost.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. I remember, being a little kid watching the late 90s All-Star games, early 2000s, and I 100% agree with you, especially, looking forward to, my favorite team, the Phils, and, seeing guys like Jimmy Rollins or Mike Lieberthal or Kurt Schilling or any of those, those early Phillies teams. Like I look forward to that the most, like you said, the introductions. So I 100% agree with you. Also, like the Pro Bowl isn't even like they play flag football now, so
they got rid of it. They basically got rid of it.
Yeah,
that's how bad that was.
Rightfully so. Then they're trying to figure out ways, but it's just not working. It's hard to figure out ways with that sport. So I mean, the one thing that came to my mind, and we saw him last year start for the American League as the pitcher and the hitter, it's the obvious one. It's Shohei Ohtani. As far as I know, Ohtani. Did they announce like who the starting pitcher was going to be, or they're not going to announce that till tomorrow or Tuesday?
I think that's waited to be announced. I don't think they've announced that just yet.
It should be Ohtani. I mean, it should be.
I agree.
I mean, you how can you not look forward to the best athlete in sports history?
You don't want Sonny Gray starting? McClanahan?
Oh my God! Yeah, the league leader wins. Okay, here we go. No, I'm looking forward to the best athlete in sports history. And sports have been around a long time. You can go back to whatever, the Revolutionary War. Like I don't know what sports they played back then, but like they played sports. I know they did. I don't know what sports they played.
The Coliseum. You can go back to the Coliseum.
There you go. That makes a little more sense. The Coliseum.
A little further back.
Right. I mean, that's my point. So I mean, Ohtani is just he trumps everybody. Okay. So like, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely really looking forward to Ohtani. If he pitches one inning and he gets the hit, and then the National League lineup, and like I'm looking forward to just the national, like the American League lineup's good. It's not going to be as good because there's not going to be Judge and there's not going to be Trout, but like I'm looking at the National League lineup, man, and looking right now, Sean Murphy has been unreal. Freddie Freeman's Freddie Freeman. Luis Arias, I mean, Luis Arias right now, he's hitting 380 plus. Arenado, we know Arenado. He's on track to be the best third baseman of all time. And then in the outfield, dude, Acuna, Betts, and Corbin Carroll. I think that starting lineup for the National League, I'm looking forward to the first time, we see them all bat. Like, I'm excited. That's a lot of talent there. American League lineup, there's some talent, but like, I like the National League lineup. They're loaded this year. It's exciting. National League could possibly win, even though it doesn't really mean anything anymore, which is kind of missing. I never really thought to mention this. It doesn't really mean anything anymore. And well, maybe we can kind of get into that. Anything else before we maybe get into that? Anything else that you're like really looking forward to from the game?
Yeah. I want to see the National League win. I want to see the National League win. I was 12 years old. 12 years old. Just double check my math there. I was 12 years old. No, I wasn't even 12 yet. I was 11 going on 12. My birthday's after the All-Star game every year. It's a couple weeks after. I was 11. Francisco, the last time the National League won. I always root for the National League. They never win. I hope that's another thing I'm looking forward to. Like like it's so easy to pick out different players. Like, yeah, I want to see this guy do good. Yeah, I want to see this guy do great. Right? Like we know they're all there for a reason, and even the reserves who are coming in for guys that got injured or something. Right? Like these guys are there for the reason. They've been the best in the first half of the year this season. So that's really easy. But yeah, can the National League win one? That's what I want to see. I want to see the National League finally win an all-star game. First time would be since 2012. And guess who the manager would be? The winning manager would be Rob Thompson. That's why I need the National League to win. I need to see Rob Thompson take a W for this National League team. They lost the World Series last year. And speaking of the World Series, I wish it still mattered for home field advantage in the World Series. I still wish that was the case.
Man, let's get to that. We can kind of leave there.
We can dabble.
Yeah, let's dabble. I'm just trying to look at you said 2012. Yeah, NL won 8-0. I'm trying to look at before that. NL won 2010. NL, there was a 3-year stretch there. They won 3 years in a row. Okay. I agree with you and I disagree with you. I think that the All-Star game should not whatever you want to call it. It should not decide home field advantage.
It should
in the World Series. No, it should not. That's dumb. Like the team that has the best record or whatever has the better record deserves to have the home field advantage. That's dumb. We're not doing that. We're not doing Ellie De La Cruz deserved to be in the All-Star game because of blah blah. No, we're not doing that stuff. I'm not doing this illogical stuff. But they do need to they do need to find a way to make it matter though. I don't know what they're going to do.
That's a pretty good incentive. That's a pretty good incentive they had for a long time.
Yes,
it's a great incentive they had for a long time.
I'm like, oh well, they got home field advantage because their buddies in the American League helped them get to the All-Star. Like, I'm not with that. I'm sorry. I'm not with that. I like that it meant something, but we gotta figure out something. We gotta get in Rob Manfred's ear, and we gotta just change the commissioner anyway. Let's just get rid of him. So that's stupid. Get the UFC. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean that's fine. If there's a lot of people that agree with you on that take. There's a lot of people that agree with you that I kind of wanted to bring back the World Series thing because at least it gave some incentive. I get it, but it just doesn't. You got to make logical sense there, man. If the Phillies get to the World Series this year, man, and it's because the American League wins and it gives them home field advantage, and the Phillies get to Game 7 in the World Series and they're not at home, you're going to be upset. Think about it that way.
I'm not going to think about it that way because it wouldn't upset me.
I
wouldn't. No, I really would. It would not matter to me. I want the All-Star game to have meaning. Like I want there to be an incentive for these guys to try and not just go out there hacking away and laughing around and joking around. Like I want them to take this game a little bit seriously, right? You're the best of the best and compete like the best of the best. So I want this game to have a little bit more meaning than it does right now. Like it doesn't have any meaning right now. Like it's still the best game because of the spectacle and baseball in the middle.
And it's hard to not try. You have to try.
Yeah, you still have to try. But like I think if you put that little bit of extra emphasis on the game when you have it have that much weight to it, I think it's gonna have these guys go out there and put on a great show. Like I think that's what it would do. And I don't know what other way you would build an incentive. Like, okay, you give them more money into their contract, they get a bonus. Like, who cares? For the fan, it should have that extra oomph to it, and you should have this game mean something in the playoffs and in the World Series. That's the American League versus the National League there. And whoever wins the All-Star game midseason, I think it should matter.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna. I wish it. You know what? I wish this year that it was still like that with the World Series, and the Phillies get to the World Series against the Astros again, and they lose in 7 in Houston.
So you're gonna
blame me? How crazy the bank is. You're gonna be like, oh man, if it's stupid, dumb rule, you would have been like, yeah, Francisco, you're right. But I'll put this out there to people. I want to know from the fans. Get at us on Twitter at Rojas_media_ at Nern_9. Is that
yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
See,
that's correct.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, tweet us both. And let us know your opinion. I would love to know your opinion on this because I've heard varying opinions on this in the last couple of years, ever since they got rid of the whole the whole World Series incentive. So yeah, that's that on the game. I think we're both. One thing I'll leave you with on the excitement, looking forward to the mic'd up. I think that was awesome last year. I don't know, Nick, you excited about that? Because I loved it last year.
I'm probably not as excited as you are. I think we could do
Okay.
away with the mic'd up. I don't really care
What?
about it.
It's
Just let them play. I don't care what they have to say during
you
the
didn't
game.
like the whole Cortez and the
It's
Jose
fine.
Trevino and Manoa? Oh, come
It's fine.
on.
It's fine, man.
You don't like fun. You don't like
I
fun.
love fun. You're the fun.
No, you don't.
I feel like you're
No, you
bothering the
don't.
guy. I don't.
You
If I were
love
playing,
crappy city connector jerseys.
if I were playing, I would not want to mic. I would not want to be talking to a guy in the booth while I'm trying to focus on the game. That's just how
But
I
it's
would
the
be.
All-Star game.
No, it's ridiculous. We don't need to
It's
have
the
these guys mic.
All-Star game. I agree that they got to get rid of the mic'd up during like real games. Like they can't. That's stupid.
That's dumb. I hate that. And if you want to talk to them in between innings or something in the dugout, fine. I'm cool with that. But we don't need to talk to them while they're in the field. It's ridiculous. I'm out on
It's
that.
the All-Star game.
I'm not as excited.
It's the All-Star game. It's the All-Star game.
That should mean something, and they should be focused in on the game instead of talking to the broadcast booth because it could mean something for the World Series.
Had the home run. Had the home run derby decide the NLDS home field advantage too. All
right.
Celebrity softball game. Why didn't we have that? Decide the American League Championship Series. Let's just do that.
You want JoJo Siwa? What's her name? JoJo Siwa? Was she one of the ones in the Celebrity All-Star game?
To be honest, I only saw the highlight of Ryan Howard raking, and that's it. I didn't even watch it.
I saw that too.
That was
Howard.
great. No. All right, so let's get in the meat and potatoes. I'm not that hungry, to be honest. Like I'm hungry for the show, but I'm not. Like I'm literally. I had obviously this is 10 o'clock at night. I had some pizza. I had a weird dinner tonight. I had pizza, and then I had a cream cheese bagel afterwards.
Oh.
And then I had some M&Ms. I just felt like being lazy tonight, and that's what I did. So
okay,
there
we go.
What about you? What'd you have for dinner?
Pork chops, eggplant, corn on the cob.
Ooh,
it was a nice one.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds like you dined well.
Yeah, it was a good one. I'm full. Okay. But there's always room for dessert.
But you're hungry for the meat potatoes.
Yeah, I'm hungry for that too. There's always room for the meat and potatoes on the shift. Always.
Yes. Oh, I agree. All right, so home run derby. Let's yeah. I mean, I'm a look. I want to get your opinion first, Nick, because I'll get this out the way. I don't like the new format they've had for the last couple of years.
No.
We kind of talked about this before the show. Like, I like the idea of moving it, have it being fast, and I get that, but like I like to admire the home runs, and I feel like the last couple of years I'm watching the Derby, and like every time that they throw the ball, Schwarber or whoever hits the ball, and the next pitch is already being thrown, and they're panning the camera back and forth. It's like this and like that. And like I remember growing up as a kid and watching all these derbies where like Bobby Abreu won and Ryan Howard won, and and you were able to admire the homers. Like you were able to admire these monster dingers, and maybe that format wasn't perfect. And neither this one, obviously. But like I thought the older format was better. How do you feel about the way they have the seating? I think the seating's cool. It's fine. But what is your overall thoughts on how the Derby is, presented now?
So I do agree with you partially. I partially agree with you. In the sense that, I think they rush it a little too much. I'm with you there. Like I think they do rush it. Like you're going back and forth between cameras. Like, all right, the ball's already out of the park. Let's go right back. The pitch has already been thrown. Like, you know what I mean? I agree with you there. I think that's a little annoying. I think they could let it breathe a little bit more. I'm with you on that. Totally agree with you there. But the format itself, I'm cool with it. I like it. I like the single elimination. I like how they have 3 minutes. It keeps it moving a little more. It adds a little more intrigue. The clock's going down. How many more pitches do they have? How many more home runs can they get? Will they add more time to it? Like the 30-second thing at the end, if they hit over 440 feet or whatever, 2 home runs, whatever the rule is. I like that. I like the format that it's in now with the time. Like you're counting down. You have a certain amount of time to hit as many home runs as you can. I like that idea. I think they could, take their time a little bit more, right? With it, maybe you add more time to it. But I get the visual representation that it shows. Like I'm with you on that part. But overall, the way it's presented, the seating, the timing, the single elimination, I'm all for it. I really like that part of it. I think the visual could be better if they let it breathe a little bit more. But overall, I think the format, it needed a change when they did change it. It needed something to just spice it up a little more. And I think this was a great way to do it. I've enjoyed the home run derby the past couple of years. I love seeing the clock wind down while they're trying to rush to get off another pitch. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm with you. Maybe they could let it breathe a little more. That's the one kind of I guess critique I would have of it as well. But overall, I think the format's cool.
Yeah, I don't know who I forget who I was talking about with this in the last week, but they're supposed to, it says in the rules, they're supposed to let the ball land
Yeah.
before they throw the next pitch. And like they
But
just,
do
no
they?
one,
Yeah.
but no one does it. But like I would appreciate that as a fan, like watching. Like I don't know, man. I like to see how far the balls go. I like to see where it lands. I like to see how many rows up it is. Like I don't know, like that for me, that's like a huge part of it. And I just remember 2021, I was so excited for that lineup. Otani was in it, Acuna. This is in Colorado, especially at Coors Field. Like, oh my God, like how many balls are they're gonna hit them 600 feet? Like Soto was in it, like the lineup was stacked, and that there's pitch thrown every 2 seconds, and they're just panning the camera back and forth, and I'm trying to watch Otani hit the ball while trying to watch where the other ball landed while the other ball is already being thrown, and it wasn't fun to me. I literally turned it off after 2 minutes. I was like, I'm not watching this. It's literally unwatchable. I don't. You said you've enjoyed it somewhat. I don't see how you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry, bro. I love you, but
I
like,
get where you're coming from. I understand, but dude, I like seeing the clock wind down and them trying to get it all. Like that's fun to me. Like having these guys like have this allotted time to hit as many as they can. I think that's cool. I think the home run derby needed that change. They needed a little bit something different. Instead of guys, all right, calling time. Let me set up back in the box. Let me fix my gloves again, like they do during the game. I don't want to drag the home run derby out. I think sometimes it got drug out a little bit more. It was getting a little stale. This brought a new idea to it. This brought kind of a fresh kind of visual to it. I get there's some things that need to be worked on a little bit. I'm with you on the visual. It might go too fast at times, but I think the format overall it's great. I think it's exciting. It adds intrigue to it. I'm cool with it. I loved it. Even though Pete Alonso won 2 out of the last 3 derbies, not counting 2020 because that was canceled.
Right.
That's the only bad part about the past couple ones. And Juan Soto won as a national, so that stunk too. But yeah, I've enjoyed the new format in the recent years.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll come around on it this year. I'm not so sure
Just
I
sit
am.
down, enjoy it,
I
grab a
will.
beer, grab a brew,
Well,
grab a
actually,
snack.
I'll be at work tomorrow night, but I'll try to have it
Okay.
on in the top corner of the producer studio.
Still grab a beer, grab a
All right.
snack. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Let me get fired. Let me just take shots. I'll take a shot every time the camera pans, while one ball is being hit. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
Again, I'll try it this year. Maybe third
try it.
time's a charm. Third time,
It's gonna be a charm.
30 in a row they've done this format. So,
Mhm.
all right, but like let's talk about the participants because
Mm.
I like the field. I like the field. I'm gonna tell you who I'm looking forward to seeing the most, and then I'm gonna give you my pick, and then I want you to do the same, follow suit. So I'm gonna give you somebody who has finally kind of, I don't even want to say he's broken out this year. It's more of just like he stayed healthy and he was able to stay healthy to this point. Luis Robert, he's got 26 homers this year. Super, super high prospect coming out with Chicago, a couple of years ago. And for him, it's always just been, can he stay healthy? He's just really had, not been able to stay on the field. And now he has 26 home runs this year, and he's looking like, looking like the player that we all thought that he was going to be. So he's been able to play 88 games this year. That's, last year he played 98. So there you go. He's already on track to play more in the next couple of months. Yeah, Robert's the one I'm looking forward to the most. He hits missiles, and he's got scary good talent, scary good power. He's my one to watch, and he could win. I mean, anyone in this field could win for the most part. That's why they're there. But my pick, and this is somebody who almost beat Pete Alonso 4 years ago when he was with Toronto as a rookie. I'm gonna go with Vladdy Jr. Pete again. Not probably. He has to be the favorite. I haven't looked at the odds or anything, but he's definitely the favorite. Also I think whatchamacallit. I mean, there's I think it's an open field after that. I really think it's Pete, it's Vladdy. I think Robert's like a scary, sneaky pick, just because of his talent. I'm gonna go with Vladdy. I'm curious to know who you got, but it's really open field after that. Adley, Adolis Garcia, or Rosarena, he could be someone exciting to watch. Mookie's gonna be exciting. All of them, everybody. I'm excited for the field, but if I'm going with one person, Vladdy, he hit a lot of home runs 4 years ago when he was in the Derby. I think that's the last time he was in it. So yeah, Vladdy's my pick, but Robert, I'm definitely looking forward to most to watch.
I'm looking forward to Vladimir Guerrero. Definitely looking forward to him. Your pick to win the home run derby. He's not my pick, but I'm looking forward to him in this derby. I just want to preface this that I get the home run derby pick wrong every single year. I usually pick I'm usually picking one of the favorites. It seems like every year. Picked Kyle Schwarber last year. That was a terrible pick.
You lost to my boy.
Yeah, bad pick. I'm gonna go with the underdog, the lowest seed, and I'm looking forward to Robert too. But my guy, he's gonna win.
Here we go.
Adley freaking Rushman is gonna win. You see it? You got
hit a tag today. Hit a tag today. I see it. It's beautiful.
See it? Yeah. Here we go. He's gonna win. Rushman's my pick. He's gonna win the home run derby. I get it wrong every year. This is the year we break the streak. It's always an underdog. It seems like other than when it's Pete Alonso or something. It's gonna be Rushman. Rushman's gonna come out swinging, come out firing. He's gonna be like, this is gonna be his welcome to the show moment, and he's gonna show the world that he's gonna be the home run derby champion. He's one of the best catchers in baseball, right there with JT. Man, he's been better than him this year. I'll tell you that. Adley Rushman, man, he is going to win the home run derby. I'm telling you right now. I'm picking it back up. I threw it, but guess what? We're gonna get Rushman. Rushman for the derby win.
I like the shirt. I like the City Connect shirt as the shirt.
You like the jersey, huh? You don't like the actual jersey, though.
Nah, it's fine. It's not. They're not one of the worst ones. I just thought it was bland.
Okay. I do have another one on the way. I have another one on the way. There's another one on the way. I think you might know. I'm not gonna say. No, not Baltimore.
I already know who it is. I'm not gonna say it on there, but I already know who it is.
Let the fans figure it out. Maybe by the next show I'll have it.
Yeah. So okay, so you got Adley. I got Vladdy. Yeah, and the field, it's a good field, man. Like I said, it's gonna be a fun field. Adolis Garcia's got a lot of power. I like a lot of the personality in this too. Like, Mookie, Rosarena, Julio, guys with a crap ton of personality, and also obviously a bunch of talent can drive the baseball out of the ballpark very far. I'll say one thing though, and you appreciate this.
Okay,
where's Ellie De La Cruz in the home run derby?
He said no to it.
Oh yeah, he did. I'm sorry.
He said no. He said no.
You're right. You're right. That would have been exciting.
I respect it. I think I read the reasoning he gave is he just wanted to focus on the season. Didn't I guess all right, that's fine. He wanted to focus on the season with the Reds.
Oh, you're upset. You're sad, dude. Look at you. I get it. It's fine. Be disappointed.
Listen. It's a very mature thing out of him. Very mature thing.
That's so sweet.
Very mature. But damn it.
What, he was 10?
But damn it. I wish you. Oh my God. Could you imagine? I love Adley. But Ellie De La Cruz would have won the home run derby.
Right.
It wouldn't have
Yeah.
been close.
I,
You know how electric it would have been? Oh. I was a little disappointed. A little disappointed he wasn't in. It was a mature thing of him to do. But man, I shed a tear when I
yeah,
saw
they
he
just
said
better
no.
win the World Series now. The Cincinnati Reds better win the World Series if you turn down that home run derby, so we could focus on the season. That's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
You don't want to
You
lose
know,
a swing.
yeah,
I
I
get
get it. It's a real thing.
All
It's
right.
a real thing.
All right, off the home run derby. We're gonna finish up the meat and potatoes talking about the All-Star jerseys. Now Nick, I'll preface it with this. I'll just say that go watch one of our latest videos on YouTube where I kind of gave my thoughts and opinions, and I kind of asked all of our listeners and watchers out there about the All-Star jerseys. Like, do you like them? Do you not? Because Nick, a lot of people online, have said like, "Oh, we hate them." Like, "Oh my God, the players should, you know, wear their own jerseys, like their own team jerseys," which has been tradition for 88 years before 2021. And I agree. Like, I'm definitely in the camp. Like, I love the players wearing their own jerseys, but jerseys have sold out. They at least in 2021, the first year they had them, sold out. So Nick, I mean, I'm not a fan. I actually kind of like this year's design. I'm curious to know. I want to hear your opinion because I already kind of talked about this. So I'm kind of curious to hear your stance on the All-Star jerseys. Last couple of years, them having these designs now.
They're mid. They're totally mid. I can't stand it, Francisco. I cannot stand that they don't wear their own freaking jerseys. It's unreal.
There we go. Get angry. Let's go.
Why? Why are we doing this? I get it. It's a money grab. They
Money.
want to make money, but they always every year. I feel like every year they come out with what the jerseys would look like. They sell them anyway. Do they have to wear them? Do they have to wear? They can wear their own jerseys. I want to see all of the players in their own uniforms. That's what made the introductions even better because they were all in their own uniforms and it was a bunch of the great players on the field at the same time. That's what made it even better. But now they're all in the same uniform. Who wants to watch that? I don't want to see that. It's a terrible visual. And they're mid. The jerseys that came out this year are mid. They're not great. They're fine. They're okay. They sold out. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care if Major League Baseball wants to make money on it. It looks stupid. It's a tradition. This is a traditional game. There's a lot of tradition in this game. Why? Why do we have to get rid of their own jerseys for every single team? Everyone should be wearing their own franchise's jersey. It's not. There's no other reason. There shouldn't be any other reason to do it. They look dull. They look dumb. And it's just a boring, bland look when they all are wearing the same thing. It's supposed to be fun. Have everyone in their own jersey. I don't want to see this nonsense next year. I want them to get rid of it. Enough is enough. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, Francisco.
Yeah, I love to hear that passion. I've been trying to get you upset. I think you're gonna get even more upset when we talk about the futures game here in a second. Yeah, I don't want to get you too angry though, because I don't want you to start like throwing things or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm glad we agree on this. Because that's something that I grew up watching. Players with their own jerseys and everything. So hey, but this isn't going away. It's not going away. But these people want Nike wants their money, and if people are buying the jerseys, I just want to know from people, like, are you buying these jerseys? Like, I don't go to, like, when I go to Citizens Bank Park, I don't think I've ever seen anybody wearing like JT's jersey from like
on occasion
last year, the year before. Like, huh?
On occasion, I've seen like not specifically JT. Like, they've always sold like the National League or the American League jersey for the player that's made the All-Star team, but they weren't wearing it every single year. You know what I mean? Like you can do that. You could still do that, and I think you'd still make money. But why do they need to wear them? Like, didn't they wear them in batting practice or the intros or something? Or not the intros, like batting practice. Didn't they wear them like that before? And then they put on their regular uniform.
Right. Yeah, and I'm cool with that. Why don't you sell it as batting practice jerseys?
I don't know. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's
It's
just it's
ridiculous.
not going away. But again, I
No.
just love to hear from the fans out there. All right, let's get to the futures game. I watched the highlights today. I know you're more of a prospect guy than me, but I always enjoy watching these things and kind of following these things just because like to see what the future of the game is. I want to see the talent that's gonna kind of be carrying the game uh, for years to come and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things to be excited about. Jackson Holiday,
Mm.
Harry Ford, our guys from Philly, Mick Abel, Justin Crawford. A lot of talent in this game, obviously. But Nick, what kind of like I'll tell you first. So the NL, not that the score matters, but the NL futures team won 5-0. I'll tell you a few things that stood out to me, at least players. And I also want to talk about one other thing as well that doesn't involve the players. This kid, I don't even know how to say his name. It's pitcher Jacob Mizorowski. Is that how you say it? You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
Nasty stuff.
Mizorowski. Yeah.
I was blown away. He's in the Brewers
Yes.
organization. I think he's in high A. Disgusting alien type of stuff. Slider, nasty slider. I mean, disgusting movement. Fastball with a lot of life. Just really, really nasty stuff. The kid looks like he could be something. I know that's not everything, obviously. But go ahead. I know you want to say
I
something.
want to. I want to add something to that. He threw 10 fastballs over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure he did. Uh, Again, I only was able to watch the highlights. I know you did too, but um, yeah, from what I saw from this kid, and I saw Pitching Ninja on Twitter was sharing his stuff. Anytime I see pictures anywhere, I can always know I can go to Pitching Ninja for stuff, and just filthy stuff. So I'm really intrigued to see what this kid's going to do in the future. Spencer Jones. I didn't see too much from him in the highlights, but my God, this guy's like 6'6", playing in the outfield, and he's supposed to be in the Yankees organization. I'm intrigued to see what this kid's gonna do because we got all these like Ellie De La Cruz and Aaron Judge and O'Neal Cruz. These guys are all like gazillion feet tall. It seems like some of these guys are coming into the game, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's the wave, but like you're just seeing more of these type of players, so it's kind
Yeah.
of wild, right?
Yeah. No. I believe he's one of their top prospects. I want to say third or something like that. Yeah, he's their third ranked prospect out of Vanderbilt. Yeah, man, you've seen a lot of these tall, lanky players. Yeah. I listen. There were some cool things out of the game that I got to see in the replay today. Lot of really good young talent, man. And I want to touch on the Phils. Mick Abel, man, starting the game. How about that? Seeing the Mick start was great. A showcase maybe before the trade deadline. I don't know, maybe. But
I don't know if
Justin
I want to.
Crawford.
After what I saw,
I'm
I
just
don't know if I
saying.
want to give that up.
I'm just saying. I know, man. I called a few of his games last year. His secondary pitches are when he's able to control them, man, and get them over for strikes. Whew, is he filthy? Is he filthy? That's why he's right behind Andrew Painter in the Philly system. But yeah, see, and you know what's crazy? They only went 7 innings yesterday too, which
Yeah,
was
that was
kind of weird.
weird. I didn't.
Yeah,
What is
I
this,
didn't
like
see the
little
reasoning
league?
for that. Yeah, I didn't see the reasoning for that. It didn't look like there was any rain or anything. So I don't know, but they went 7 innings. So you got to see some of these young guys come out. I believe it was Nunez from the Miami system. I think he's their 20th ranked prospect. He won the MVP of the ball game. So good for him. And yeah, listen, there's going to be some guys coming up in the next few years that people should be really excited about. And I think Nunez, if I'm not mistaken, I was reading, he's like really fast. Like I think he's got a 70 grade on the base pass. Like he's
Yeah, there
an
were a few guys that were
insane
stealing a
runner.
few
Could
bases, and
could
I forget.
could
I
run.
think Nunez was definitely one of them.
I
Yeah,
think he was one of
filthy
them.
speed.
And Nunez is a player to watch out. He's the one that had a bases clearing RBI double in the fifth. So he obviously went on to win that MVP. But yeah, Nunez stood out. Seeing Mick start the game was pretty cool. Crawford, first round pick of the Phillies last season, was in the lineup as well. So a lot of fun players out of this ball game for sure. I just wish I could have watched it live. That would have been nice. Been nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. No. You want the floor again? You want it?
I'll take it. Do you want me to take it again?
Yeah.
Do you want me to get
Take the
upset
floor.
again?
Take it with force. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So as you know, we've mentioned a few times here. We caught the highlights of the Futures game. I wanted to watch the entirety of it. Um, I went home and I thought usually it's like on MLB Network or something, maybe ESPN. Usually I feel like in the past it's been. You know what it was this year, Francisco? Why we couldn't watch it? It's on freaking Peacock. It was on Peacock. Now, I think my parents, I believe I was using their account for a little while, but I don't really go on Peacock that often, and nobody was really using it, so it got canceled. So we don't have Peacock anymore. What do you know? The MLB Futures game is on Peacock. I don't have an account. I can't use it. I couldn't go on it. I wasn't on my television. I don't have the Peacock app. It's a little older TV, so it's like one of those older smart TVs where I don't have the Peacock app. I would have had to like get my phone and stream it from my phone, and
it's too much.
Oh my goodness, and put it on the TV, mirror it or whatever, sync up the TV with the. Oh my God, what is MLB doing? Putting this stuff on Peacock. Stop it. Put this stuff on MLB Network. Put it on a different network, ESPN. I don't care. But stop doing this with the Apple TV, with the Peacock. It's getting out of hand. Like I can't just go home, turn on the TV, and watch a game anymore. It's getting ridiculous. Like if I don't have an account for some of this stuff, or I cancel it because there's nothing on for a little while, why would I want to go back on and make a new account and pay that money that I'm only use it one day and then turn it off? You know what I mean? MLB, fix it. This is not the way to go. We're not there yet. As a society, we're still not there yet. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I'm done. Okay.
You're pissing off the young people, Rob Manfred. You're pissing them off. Our young man right here, our young happy, and and you know what's funny? Like you're generally a happy guy, but now Rob Manfred idiots are pissing you off. I don't like this.
Like stop with Peacock, man. Come on. Like
I agree. I mean, like why didn't they do what they did with the draft tonight? Put it on ESPN. Like you want to grow the game, like put it somewhere where people are gonna watch it. I mean, only like 85-year-old people are watching Peacock. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying your parents are 85.
Who's watching Peacock? I don't think anyone's watching Peacock. We've had it for.
Do. I mean, people
like my family had it for like a very, very limited amount of time. I think they had the free trial that came with it or something, and they paid for it for a couple months, and then that was it.
Do you have cable?
Yeah.
I have YouTube. I have YouTube TV now. I mean, a lot of people are going away from cable though. So I mean,
I just don't think we're fully there yet. I don't think we're fully there yet.
Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that it should still be on a nationally televised place. But at the end of the day, dude, like I mean, that is the wave of the future is like streaming platforms.
Oh, I have plenty.
But I don't think Peacock is the place to do it. Like I still think you could put it on ESPN or ABC or something like that. Maybe not ABC. They probably wouldn't pick that up. But like ESPN, where like a lot of people with different streaming platforms, whether it's like Apple TV or YouTube TV or the big ones, they'll get it. So like that's what I'm talking about. So I'm in agreement with you. I was glad that we at least got to watch the highlights because actually last year, man, I think it was on MLB Network last year.
It was.
And this year, but last year I couldn't even watch I remember I tried to watch the highlights the next day and they weren't even on YouTube. So I was able to watch the highlights this year. So I'm happy I got the 10 minutes of highlights. So the Futures game, it's good to see the the wave of the future. There's a lot of exciting stuff there. So very excited. So let's just kind of close the show out. We're gonna get away from the All-Star stuff, as that pretty much wraps it up. We don't need to talk about the Celebrity All-Star game or the softball game. I barely watched it. I saw Ryan Howard hit a couple of tanks. That's cool, but so So we'll end with a couple of quick hits. Nick, I'll give you my take on the combined no from Detroit yesterday. I'm just going to say this off the bat. Combined no-hitters are beyond, I tweeted this yesterday, word for word, beyond overrated.
I know you did.
Overrated. They're a feat. I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm not saying they're not a feat, an accomplishment. But to have like this combined no-hitter, oh my God, they did it. No, it's not even close to the same as one pitcher going 9 innings throwing a no hitter. It's not even close. It's not even on that tier. Okay. So congrats to the Tigers. Good accomplishment. It's fun, but it's not the same as I mean, Domingo Germán was a perfect game. That's in a different stratosphere. It's not the same. That's where I'm at with. That's cool. Congrats to Matt Manning, Jason Foley, Alex Lang, especially doing a Toronto offense, which is really good. That's the 20th combined no hitter in the history of baseball. That's obvious accomplishment. But at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares about the Astros last year? I don't care. Go ahead.
So I heard about your tweet from a friend of the show.
Who's a friend?
Our buddy Jovan Alford from the Sporting News. He sent me your tweet yesterday. And he goes, end quote, Nick, what's up with this take from Francisco? I think he disagrees with you completely. He's a fan of the combined no-hitter. He's a fan of the combined
what about you? I want to know your opinion. Shout out to Jovan.
It's not, so when we get him on the show, because he's going to be on the show at some point soon here, next couple weeks, I would say, we're going to get him on. So we're gonna have to address that. That's beef between you two.
Okay, that's fine.
You and him have to talk about.
I didn't know about this beef. I'm glad you.
Oh yeah, yeah. He texted me yesterday. He wanted to know. He's like, what does this take? So we're gonna when he comes on, when Jovan gets on the shift, we're gonna address the combined no hitter beef between you two. It's a little bit of beef, right there. But I like the combined no hitter. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think it's like drastically overrated like you think it is. I don't think it's the same as one guy doing it, going over 100 pitches usually, working through 9 innings. But I like the combined no-hitter. It's cool. It's fun. Like you mentioned, I don't think it's drastically overrated. I don't think it's the same as a normal no-hitter, but I'm cool with the combined no-hitter. I think it's really cool. You didn't give up any hits that game. It's pretty fun.
I'm not cool with it. I'm just saying I think people go a little overboard with it. Like
I don't think they do though.
The Mets did it to us last year too.
The Phillies,
they did it to, yeah, right.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah,
they did. And that was like a whole huge thing. Diaz
happened in the World Series, man.
Right, I know. We got twice. Holy crap! That was twice. Wow. Whatever. Screw the Mets. We got to the World Series, going 100 games, didn't even make it past the wild card. So I don't care about the Mets. I love you, Matt Musico. He's a friend of the show. He's a Mets fan.
Bring all the friends of the show. All the friends of the show.
We have a lot of friends. What we can say, we're popular people.
Yeah.
But
have a show.
Yeah, but like, you know what though? Like seriously, this is like obviously like we all have our own opinions, have our own takes. But I'll tell you on Twitter, and I've seen this last couple of years. There's people that agree with me. I've seen it. From a lot of people that say like, why is the combined no hitter like such a big deal? And I agree. I don't think it's not. I don't think it's not a big deal. I'm just saying it's like, again, like it's the batting average argument, like the weight of it. Like it's not as important as we think it is. Like it's okay. So that's where I'm at with it. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to the Motor City. Shout out to a team that has underachieved over the last couple of years. Good for you guys. You finally get your your combined no hitter. That means nothing. Just kidding. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean nothing, but it's overrated. That's all I'm saying. It's overrated. Shout out to Jovan too. I didn't know we had that beef, but apparently we had that. So shout out to Jovan. We'll see you soon. Last one, Nick. I'll let you go first here. We have to do this just because we're at the All-Star break and we give our World Series picks to begin the year. Who do you see at this point in the year? Okay. A lot of surprises, some not surprises. Who do you see in the World Series this year? Give me National League and American League, and who wins?
I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer. Phillies are going back to the World Series. I know they've had a lot of injury issues this year. Just the way their roster is constructed to me. I know they're 48 wins. They're like one game less than they were last year heading into the All-Star break. I got a feeling, man. I just have a feeling with this team. There's something about them. They have this postseason aura about them. Like once they get into September, once they get around October, that time of the year when it comes into crunch time, when they're going to have to be fighting for a wild card spot because Atlanta's going to run away with the division, something's going to click. Something's just going to click. I have this weird feeling the Phillies are going to go back to the World Series. I really do. I feel like they've had a lot of unfinished business. I think they're going to make some moves at the deadline that are going to be substantial. I think Dombrowski is going to have some up his sleeve. We know in the past he will give up prospects to go get some players at the deadline to make a World Series push. I think the Phillies are going to go back to the World Series from the National League. I have this weird feeling that this team is going to really catch fire towards the end of the season again. There's a lot of similarities to last year, but I really do. I think they're going to go back. Now, from the American League, this one's a little bit tougher. You could always say Houston. You really could. But I don't think Houston goes back this year. I really don't. Obviously, they've turned it around. They had a slow start to the season. But for me, I think Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's good, man. 58
I don't trust
wins
their starting pitching, but go
I
ahead.
I don't know. I think I understand why you don't trust their starting pitching, but I think they're going to be good enough. I think they're going to be good enough to get back to the World Series. What they went 2020 was the last time they were there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a rematch of what just happened this past week with the Rays versus the Phillies. I think you get a rematch at 08, man. I think that's very, very
That would be
possible. That's going
wild.
to be my
Yeah,
pick. Could you
that would be
imagine?
wild.
That's my pick.
Yeah. Okay. And so, but who do you have winning?
Going the Phillies, man. They're gonna get the job done this time.
I
I
mean,
just have this weird
I would love
feeling.
if you're right. I would love if you're right. So actually, I don't like hate your pick at all. Actually, I think you have some merit there, for sure. I think and I thought about this, the last month or two, like the Phils have the type of roster come postseason time
Yep.
that they can make a run. And the roster's better than it was last year. Like, from Wheeler to all the way down to Ranger and Walker, like you're not going to have that fifth starter. Like if they do get a fifth starter at the deadline, it's going to be to make a playoff push.
It's not going
I
to be
agree
a
with
fifth
you.
starter. It's not going to be a fifth starter. It's going to be like a third, second type starter. If they're going to go.
No, I
think
Dave
they will.
Dombrowski does not have that track record. No, it will not be.
I know he
Second or third
doesn't, but
starter.
I'm just saying I would not be shocked if they go get a Stroman or somebody. I would not be shocked.
Stroman is an ace. They're
That's
not
what I'm
good. They're
saying.
not giving up Painter.
Okay.
They're not doing it.
They're
And I
not
don't
going to have to
want
give
them
up
to.
Paint. They're not going to have to give up Painter for Stroman.
Yes, they
No,
100%
they're
will have
not.
to give up Andrew Painter.
They're not going to have to
How
give up
much
Painter
do you
for
want to
Stroman.
bet? We could.
They'll have to give up Mick. They'll have to give up McAble. Maybe they're not going to.
They're going to have to give up Painter. If you're right, okay, I'm with you. But they're to get a Stroman who's having as good of a year as he's having, they're going to have to give up Andrew Painter.
Totally
Maybe you're right though. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's a package without Andrew Painter.
Totally disagree.
But I don't know. I don't know, man. So part of me feels like they don't need to make a huge splash to the deadline to get into the playoffs and make a World Series run. And I would love that because this team, I want some Philadelphia team. And it's funny. I was talking about this with somebody over the weekend. I'm a family member. There's never really been a Philadelphia team, and maybe the Eagles do it. And this is going to be just a Philadelphia sports conversation. I'll do it real quick before I get to my pick. But like, there's never like the Phillies, especially. My gosh, it's 5 years of a playoff run, and then it's 10 years of just terrible. Like we don't need to get a huge splash at the deadline. I think that I don't want to go too off here, but like I think this team can make somebody at the deadline that's like a decent bat and a decent arm just to add depth, and they can make a run. And then they can just keep the tide turning year after year. And just like, I know fans here want to we have to win every year. I get it. But like, I don't want any more years of like 70 and under wins. I just went off on a whole tangent there. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My World Series pick though, short and simple. I'm going from 2021 rematch. I think the American League is weird. I don't trust the Rangers. I don't trust the Mariners. I don't trust who else? I don't trust the Yankees, especially without Judge. I know he's only one player, but obviously Judge is a huge player. I don't trust the Blue Jays. I don't trust their rotation. I don't trust the Rays. I just don't. Okay, like they're great and everything. I don't trust their rotation. I don't see a rotation with, and McClanahan's awesome. I'm not. McClanahan's great. I'm not talking about him. Don't trust Taj Bradley's young. Zach Eflin, you gotta stay healthy first off, and Eflin's been consistent throughout his career. Glass now has been weird since he's come back from injury. I know they're good. They're very good, and their offense is like still somehow the best in one of the best in baseball. I don't trust the Rays, so that leaves me with Houston. Like Houston's done it. I know Houston's kind of had a kind of sort of an underwhelming first half, but Houston gets in the playoffs. They have the team to do it still. Framber Valdez is looking like a Cy Young Award winner. Christian Javier hasn't been what he was last year, but I think once they get there, they have the experience. I know people can say experience is overrated, but I just think if there's a team in the American League right now where we stand, it's Houston Astros. And then I like your Phillies pick, but I just think, and I know it's kind of the lob alley-oop pick right now. It's like the easy pick, but the Braves are just so stacked right now. And there's an argument you can say like, oh, well, look what Strider did last year in the playoffs. He sucked, blah, blah, blah. But maybe he figures it out. And I just think the Braves are so loaded from top to bottom, especially that offense. I can't not go the Braves. I'm not going anybody from the Central. Maybe the Reds or Brewers make it, and it's a big step for them, especially for the Reds. And the West, I don't love the Dodgers this year. I don't. The Diamondbacks are making huge strides, man, but they're not ready. So that leaves me with the Braves and Astros, and I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Atlanta, and I'll go with Atlanta in 6 games. It's gonna be another. I think Atlanta won in 6 games 2 years ago against the Astros. So it's gonna be like a boring World Series again. And Jorge Soler is going to go from the Marlins to the Braves. He's going to come back for no reason at all. He's going to, they're not even trading for anything. They're just going to be like, hey, you can have Jorge Soler back. But in all seriousness, yeah, I like the Braves over the Astros in the World Series. So
I like it.
What do you think of that, bud?
I think it's fair. I think both are possibilities of what we picked. For
sure.
I
for Very once real. We can logically respect each other, like rationally respect each other's takes.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah. At one time. It
only took us like
time in history.
20 episodes, 19 episodes, whatever. So that was 19th. That was 19th episode of The Shift. So look at the bottom. Stare at the bottom and look at our social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We are everywhere. If you're not there, you better be there. Okay. That's our saying. That's what we say here at The Shift. If you're not there, you better be there. I just made that up on the fly.
Nice.
Jacob Mizorowski is going to win a Cy Young in about 2 years. Spencer Jones is going to grow another foot. He's going to be like a 7'6" outfielder. The combined no hitters, they're trash, overrated. Shout out to the Astros, who will lose the World Series this year to the Braves again. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Nick, take us out.
All right. You've been listening to The Shift for Francisco Rojas. I'm Nick Earnshaw. This was The Shift All-Star Game preview. We'll see you next time after the All-Star break, I guess. See ya.